Welcome everybody to Motorcycle Time. I'm your host Joe. Today we are out on the wonderful KLR 650 and we're going to go for a ride to a place called Calistoga. We're going to take a cool little ride in the back hills. I'm going to take you kind of like the back way. There's like a main way to go there. This is the back way. I think it'll be less trafficy and more interesting. We're going to hope for that. And the reason we're going to go over there today is because it's on fire and we're going to see if we can see something. And yeah, anyway, so that's going to be it. I'm just going to ramble while we do that. So if you want to see that, follow along. All right, you guys. I'm going to take us out for a nice little ride through the hills out here to a place called Calistoga. If you're familiar with California, you might know where that is. It's mildly famous. There's like some petrified forests and a lot of wine tasting, and there's probably some other stuff I'm forgetting. But it's like one of the scenic places if you visit, like, you know, north of San Francisco. Maybe you check it out. I personally don't think it's the nicest place to live because it is so hot. It is very, very hot. But it is scenic. There's definitely stuff to look at. It's very pretty. I don't know how close we're going to get to any kind of like actual fire. My goal is not to actually go get in the middle of the fire thing. It's just to see what we can see maybe. So we're going to try to do that. And it's a nice ride out there. And I enjoy riding this KLR so damn much. It's so hard to get off it. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there who are like haters, who don't really think much of a KLR, or maybe they don't like dual sports or adventure bikes that much. You know, they're cruiser fans or sport bike fans. Maybe you watch the channel because of the Vulcan, and that's cool. I understand that. I do. If you're watching the channel because of the Vulcan, I'm sorry, because there's been no Vulcan content lately, and I got to finish the project that I've got the Vulcan in right now. Unfortunately, I got the whole front end torn apart, and I need to maybe make just like a little short video from the garage to show what's going on. I didn't film any of the taking it apart, but it's all apart right now. And I suppose I could do a little quickie on that. Maybe I can work that in tomorrow. Just to give a quick update on it for the people who care. The Vulcan is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it needed its front forks replaced and it needed its brakes replaced. And so I've got it all torn apart while I'm doing that. But I'm also at work like the busiest that I'm going to be the entire year for the next couple of months. And I have been for like the whole summer, really. So it's not exactly the easiest time for me to fit in like motorcycle mechanic stuff or making videos or video editing. Those kinds of things are like really difficult for me to fit in right now. And by the time I get around to any of that stuff, it's usually really late in the day. I've already worked all day. I'm tired. I'm not in the mood, you know. And so unfortunately that stuff ends up getting kind of like, okay, this is the little road I wanted to take us on. This is called Chalk Hill Road. If you know, you know. But it's a nice little twisty guy out through the hills out here, and it's going to take us out to Highway 128, which will drop us down into Calistoga. So anyway, I've got it all took apart, and I just don't have the energy at night to work on it very much, and it's just been sitting for the last, I don't know, God, it's been 2 weeks, I bet. Unfortunately, it's been like, yeah, it's probably been 2 weeks just sitting there. So it's probably been close to a month that the bike has been down. It sat for 2 weeks while I ordered parts and waited and dicked around and didn't do the work and didn't do the work. Then I finally tore it all apart and took it down and had the forks redid, you know, because I took those to the shop. But I haven't put the bike back together yet, so that's just kind of where it sits. Like I said, maybe I can make a little short video about it. Anyway, back to this KLR. I love this thing so much. It actually makes me think I want an even more dual sport. This being kind of like an adventure bike dual sport where it's on the heavier side and pretty tall. And it's making me think I'd like a 300 or 400 cc dual sport. It really makes me think I want a DRZ like real bad. And probably in the dual sport configuration, not in the supermoto configuration. Not that I have a problem with supermotos, I don't. I probably would enjoy the heck out of one, but because I think I would prefer the on the roads that I ride more and more, I think I would prefer the dual sport setup with the dual sport tires. In this last year, 2025, since I've gotten the KLR, I've gotten bitten by this ADV Explorer bug, where all I want to do is just go exploring. I don't necessarily need to go all that fast, but I do want to go see stuff. And it's like, it's been a little bit of a challenge, I guess, to try to sort that out with everything. And I probably need to sell some bikes, you know, and change my inventory around, but it's hard because I've got an emotional attachment to some of them. So even though I don't ride them as often as I could or should, I'm still hung up on them, and it's like, I'm hard to let it go, you know? Hard to let it go. I sold my CBR this year, which I was proud of myself for doing, because that's taken me a minute. I should have sold that in 2024, and I did not, and it took me until 2025 to finally get it done. And I'm glad I did do it, because it's not like I don't miss the bike. It's a good little bike. It was a fun bike, and I spent a whole year riding it around like I didn't know the difference. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know the difference, and I didn't care. I just was riding a motorcycle that was fun enough, and then it was, and that was enough. And I really enjoyed that. But now that I've had five bikes, this is my 5th bike, I'm starting to see the difference in how stuff works. And the subtle little differences do make a difference to me, it turns out. So I don't actually want to ride a sport bike all over the backcountry like some people might want to. That's fine if you want to, but that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is ride a dual sport all over the backcountry. So it just turns out that I guess I'm more of a dual sport guy than I thought I was. And I'm really glad that I did my first year on a sport bike, and I just enjoyed that, and that was fine. You know, I didn't die, which is a great sign. And I learned quite a bit. But, you know, the reality is that for me, a sport bike has a limited amount of value unless you can ride on really nice asphalt or you can go to the track. And I'm not going to be able to go to the track right now with my life the way it is. It's just not going to happen. So that means I'm kind of doing the whole riding around on the streets thing, which is fine, and it's still fun. But the sport bike is limiting because I don't really want to ride on bumpy back roads and stuff where there's too many bumps. It's not very fun. And sand and gravel's not very fun. And there's a lot of that stuff, especially in the wintertime. And that's another thing in the wintertime. These roads out here get real dirty. There's a lot of water, there's gravel, there's grit and sand everywhere. There's all kinds of trash all over the road. And for starters, sport bike tires don't really deal with that stuff very well. They just don't. And then on top of that, your bike is always just this filthy pig. It's just filthy all the damn time. And it's so hard to keep it clean looking, and it just looks like hell. And I don't know, there's just something about a dual sport that's supposed to look like that, so it doesn't distress me the same way. When my plastics on my VFR get dirty, I get all puckered up. My butthole starts to get all like, oh my God, and I get all like my fifis and stuff, and it's stupid and irrational, but at the same time, it just makes me want to give the bike a bath, you know. But until I wash the bike, I won't feel better. And in the wintertime, it's just like you're washing your bike twice a week. You know what I mean? Like, it's friggin' ridiculous. So with the KLR, I have had none of those problems. Not any. Oh, the bike's dirty? So if it's that dirty, spray it with the hose. Like, that level. It's just so different, and it's really awesome. Not much water in the creek this time of year. And the other thing I've noticed about the KLR that is very interesting is it's changed the kind of bad behavior that I do. It's not to say that I don't do hooligan stuff still. I do, but like, it's changed how and where. And I've just noticed the KLR, like, it keeps my riding more sane. And partly it's because it is a slow bike. That is part of it. It's slow, so it helps you stay more sane because you're not going as fast, like straight up. But then at the same time, you also can do some like hooligan stuff in places where less people are looking. Like there's less people looking in certain spots, right? Because you're further away from stuff and it's like more quiet and there's, you know, less eyes to observe you. Oh boy, we're gonna have to stop because I can't see. Oh, there we go, that's us. Can't see a damn thing. Okay, this is Highway 128 and this will take us down into Geyserville. We're not very far up 128, we're just a little ways up. I think we're just up on the hill or whatever. And I don't know how far it is down into Geyserville, or Calistoga, I guess. I said Geyserville, I meant Calistoga. Did I say it? Or I meant Calistoga. I think Geyserville's up north. This is Calistoga. Anyway, this is going to take us down into Calistoga, and from there we'll cruise through town and see if we can see anything related to the fire. I'm not sure we'll be able to. It's kind of, I think it's on the like the east side, the south and east side of town. I really like 128. It's a beautiful highway. It really is. And they've just got done doing, I think last year, and I don't know if they did any of it this year, but last year they did a ton of stuff to this road where they paved a bunch of it. I mean, they did a bunch of work to it. And it's real nice from some of the sections now, like Calistoga North up toward Healdsburg and whatnot is real nice now. They got the asphalt pretty sweet. So it's nice. Not that you should be out here ripping or anything, but it's like, this is a good highway for a sportier ride. It's usually not very busy and the curves are lovely and the asphalt's in very good shape. They do patrol it though, so you need to be careful if you're thinking you want to come out here and be a badass. You may find yourself catching the patrolman. That is a thing. That is a thing. Yeah, same thing out here. The creek is super empty. Very, very low this time of year. What are we, like the end of August? This is like the end of August. So this is getting into the hottest time that we have. September is usually our worst month. October can be pretty bad also. It's one of the things that I really like about summertime out here is when it gets hot, you can really smell the woods. You can smell the forest. Like the trees and the land put off a scent. And it's a different scent than when it rains. You know, there's the scent that you get when it rains, you know, after it rains. It's different than that. And it's a really cool scent. And I'm sure it's like that anywhere you go. It's got its own little smell. But the different climates that you get around here are really cool that way. You get different smells. Yeah, he's enjoying some sport bikeage. He's got the right of it. You know, and again, as long as you keep it fucking real and you're not being a complete idiot, this road is great. It really is, man. It's a fun-ass road. And you know, I said it does get patrolled, but like, you know, again, as long as you're keeping it real, you won't have a problem. But it is a fun-ass road. Okay, I think we're coming real close to Calistoga now. Like just a couple miles, I think. I think it's this flat section. It's been a while since I've ridden it this way, but I think this flat section is getting real close. Okay, I think this is our turn. We're going to stop right here and grab some gasoline. Okay, this is like the downtown in Calistoga, which is like touristy. It's gotten quite bougie, really. There's one of your air attacks right there. That's a Cal Fire up there. Did you guys catch that? That was probably all you're going to get. Let me see if I can get us around to where we can see him working a little bit. One of the staging grounds for Cal Fire. Okay, here we go, here we go. Oh yeah, you can see, look, there's your one of your air attack guys right there, huh? Going to get a scoop. Okay, Picket Road, here it is, this is it. I don't know, it's pretty cool. Well, there you go. Some burn scars, some helicopter. We got to see all the things. That was pretty cool. All right, now let's go get us a drink of water, huh? Cafe California. Okay. Rove. Dear God. Yeah, this place has gotten hella bougie, man. Oh boy. Whoo boy. The bouge. The bouge. August at the bridge. Holy shit, dude. The bouge factor is set to 99. You still alive? Hell yeah, nice. I didn't run out of batteries. Can you believe it? All right, you guys, that was a fun little ride. You got to see a helicopter. You got to see the burn scar, just like we talked about. Fun little ride in the hills. Hope you all enjoyed that. This has been Joe. This is Motorcycle Time, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye now.